Right, so I haven't actually done anything like this before, but I get asked a lot about hooks and how do you get people to be engaged on the content that you spend a lot of time on putting together. How do you actually, in such a saturated market like social media, how do you get those people, your ideal clients, your ideal customers, to actually stop and listen to what you have to say? And it all comes down to the hook, really. We've tested hundreds and hundreds of different hooks to try and find out what works best and what doesn't. And every time we onboard a new client, what we'll do is we will learn about their customers. We'll then go through this entire process of creating variations of different types of hooks, and then we'll test those hooks to find out which their customers resonate with the most, if that makes sense. So really, I just wanted to walk you through what these 5 different hooks are and how you could implement them into your content that you put together. So if you're at home, I'd literally just get a notepad and start writing down. Obviously, once I walk through them, I'm going to give you examples and just try and have a think about how can I implement these with my content? How can I get people to stop scrolling and engage with my posts and my ads, or whatever it might be. So the first thing we look at is the contrarian hook. So the purpose of the contrarian hook is to basically challenge conventional beliefs or popular advice. So it's playing devil's advocate a little bit. What people may believe to be true, you're counteracting that, which is then making them think, oh, I thought that was true, and then wanting to read a little bit more. So yeah, an example of this is everything you've been told about X is wrong. So whatever that might be, everything you've been told about marketing is wrong, which is quite a bold statement, but it's going to catch people's eyes basically. Another example would, why upgrading your kitchen might not increase your home's value. So a common belief is that if you spend a lot on your kitchen, you're going to increase the value of the home. It's just but then you could go on to speak about how the hallway or the bathroom or other aspects of the house are just as important to basically increase the value of the home. That's the sort of example that you'd look to use when you'd actually use this. So it's when your audience is likely following outdated advice or conventional wisdom, and you have an innovative or alternative solution. So this is very important. However, like, I'm skipping on a bit, but the caution to this is ensure that your view is backed by facts or experience, or it may come across as clickbait. If you're just lying to people, it's not going to work. So it has to be true. It has to be backed by facts. But you need to bear in mind you're the expert. You're talking to people that aren't experts. So if you can just take a common misconception and turn it on its head to engage people, then it's going to work well. And then how to create this. So again, if you're at home, just have a little think about how you can do this with your industry and your business that you work in. So identify a common belief in your industry, highlight why it's flawed or ineffective, and then offer a teaser of your alternative approach within that hook. And that is guaranteed. If your ideal customers out there, they're going to read the entirety of the post. If you start your post with that sort of content. The relatable problem hook. So this is pretty much says what it does on the tin. So this is used to connect with your audience by addressing a pain point they regularly experience, making them feel understood, which is what a lot of humans' desires are, to actually feel understood and have that feeling that you're going through what I'm going through as well. And this can be really effective in getting people to stop scrolling as well. So an example for, say, a PT or something like that. Struggling to lose weight, no matter what you try, you're not alone. So we're in it together. This is a problem that other people face. And then obviously then going on to read the entirety of the post. Or another example, feel like you're constantly on Zoom but not closing deals, you're not alone. So this would be maybe a sales trainer or a business manager, something like that. That sort of feeling of we're in this together, we're struggling with this problem, how do we get out of it? So it's relatable to the person that's reading your post. When to use this? So you really want to use this when you want to create an emotional connection with your audience or show empathy for their struggles. So again, I'd test every single one of these with your audience, and by the time you've done 5 different posts, you're going to likely understand which hook people are most receptive to, or your ideal clients are most receptive to. But yeah, that's definitely when you'd want to use it. How to create this? So use casual conversational language, focus on a specific shared experience, and then offer a solution or promise of help later in the content. So you want people to stick around for the entirety of whether the video or the content you've written. So having that solution in the hook and teasing that solution in the hook is going to keep them around for the entirety of the content. And then the caution to this is avoid being overly negative. Balance the problem with hints at solutions or positive outcomes. People don't want to feel worse about themselves. So just saying, this is rubbish. Are you suffering from this? Like that isn't you've not provided a solution. Someone's just read something that's made them feel even worse. So they're likely to not want to engage with that type of content. So there has to be positive outcomes and hints of solutions in there. The next one is the shock or surprise hook. So the purpose of this is to grab attention with something unexpected, breaking the pattern of sort of typical scrolling behavior. So this needs to be a real sort of punch in the gut to anyone that's reading, like, oh wow, that sounds interesting, and then wanting to read. So an example of this is this tiny habit could save you thousands every single year. This one button that increased our sign up rate by 200%. These are bold sort of shock sort of hooks that are going to engage people, because that isn't the norm. Changing one button, you see the keywords there, one button, and then increasing sign up rate by 200%. That is not something that's done every day. So it's that's why we call it the shock or surprise hook, because it's something that's very different. But again, I'll go on to I'll skip over just while I've gone over that, because I think it's important, to the caution: avoid overhyping your content. Must deliver on the surprise or you'll lose credibility. And I see this so much, and to be honest, a lot of marketing agencies and people within the marketing agency industry have been stung by this. People promising the absolute world and just not being able to deliver on it. So it's really important that you are ethical and that you're not just promising everything and not being able to deliver. So that's very key. So when to use it: when you have a truly unique or surprising piece of information that can stand out in a crowded feed. So this is probably when you've dealt with hundreds of different customers or clients or people, or receive different advice, or something that's really transformed the results that you're delivering for your clients or your customers. Something like that that's going to offer free value and is truly unique. Then you're in a position to be able to use that hook. The way in which you create this is use startling statistics or bold claims. Basically, pair the hook with visuals that amplify the shock factor. So that's always helpful as well. And deliver on the promise quickly to maintain trust. So once you obviously mentioned how we do this, start explaining how you do it as well after that. Because although the hook's great for keeping people or to stop people scrolling, your job after the hook is to then keep them watching. It's not a guarantee that, oh, the hook engaged them, they're going to watch the entirety of the video. No, your job then is to make sure the content's valuable enough to actually keep them watching the video. So yeah, that's the shock or surprise hook. The fourth hook is the bold promise hook. So the purpose of this is to captivate your audience by offering a clear, enticing benefit they're eager to achieve. So yeah, an example of this would be: lose 5 kilograms in 6 weeks without giving up your favorite foods. The 3-step strategy that skyrocketed my productivity. So you can see there, we're offering a clear, enticing benefit that they are likely eager to want to achieve. So it's a promise to them. And it's something that, again, you must have the capabilities on delivering on. You can't just lie. That will not work. You'll get found out, and your credibility is just gone and lost. So when would you use this? When you can actually provide actionable, valuable insights or proven methods, which is what I've just covered there. And then how you do this: focus on a single measurable outcome of whatever you do. Just focus on one single thing. Be as specific as possible, e.g., numbers, time frames. Just make sure, you really sort of make it a micro win, that it's not overall like £20 million in your business. Is that what you want to create? No, it needs to be one specific small thing that you can do for the client that is going to engage them, and then provide a clear path to achieving the promise. But like I mentioned before, do not overpromise or make guarantees you can't deliver. Be authentic and transparent, which is very important. So the final one now is the intriguing question hook. So the purpose of this is to spark curiosity and create an open loop that makes people want to know the answer. So like you'd be speaking to your friend, if you've got a fun fact or you've got something that's going to engage them, you ask them a question. If they don't know the answer, they want to know the answer from you, and they'll make sure they get the answer out of you. They'll go and tell us, what is it? Like, that is the reaction that we're going to have from the intriguing question hook. So an example of this is, what's the first thing potential buyers notice about your home? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to succeed effortlessly? These are intriguing questions that a lot of people have noticed, a lot of people want to know the answer to, but they might not have those answers, so they're going to stick around to hear what you've got to say. When you use this, when your content contains surprising, educational, or thought-provoking insights. Sorry. So yeah, very important that you're actually educating, you're offering free value, which is going to benefit anyone who's digesting your content. And then how to create it is, you identify a question your audience frequently asks. So maybe go to your clients, go to your customers, and ask them, are there any questions you have about the product or service or the industry that we're working in? And then frame it in a way that teases the answer. So make the question personal or thought-provoking. So it's very important that when you frame it, it's in a way that doesn't give away the answer, but it teases the answer out of them. So yeah, that's very important. And then finally, the caution for this one is, avoid vague or overly generic questions that don't promise value. Make it clear there's a benefit to reading further. So that's very important as well. If you're too vague or overly generic, people are just going to click off and they won't be interested in it. So yeah, that's all the hooks. Just to recap: the contrarian hook, the relatable problem hook, the shock or surprise hook, the bold promise hook, the intriguing question hook. Now, we have tested each one of these hundreds of times on the different ad accounts that we're currently managing. We test a new hook every single we test a new set of content every single week for each one of our clients, because we're constantly trying to find out which is the best hook, which is the best call to action, which is the best headline. We're constantly trialing and testing to see what works. So yeah, I just thought I'd give this video because it's so important. I feel like there's a lot of free value here. Personally, let me know if this video was helpful. I'm trying to offer some free value. It might not be any help to anyone. You might not have learned anything from this, but I'd like to know that also, just so I can make a note of it, because I do want to do more of these videos. It's something we do on a daily basis, and I just thought I'd share it with everyone. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be back with another video as well.